where I am again. Guess where I am. Maximum you can bet is $7.20 here, so it's not the $20, but I just, I'm near London. Okay, bye for now. Up and down, up and down. I keep winning 300, 400, 500, and then feeding it all back into machines. I thought I won 500 or 400 on this. It looks like more. I don't know. Whatever. I think I'm up for the day. It's hard to tell. Hey, this is the day after I posted the latest podcast, and I said, I should be okay. They don't have $18 machines around here. It's not going to work. Today, I come to London, near London, St. Thomas, and I brought $600 cash and my card that I can only access 200 on, and I won 600. After the first couple of hundred, I did win $500-600, and I was up a few hundred for the day. But of course, I could not leave. I gambled that. I won another 400. I gambled it. Another 500 jackpot. Gambled it. Even $700, $800 jackpots. Gambled it. Took the other 300 out of the car, gambled it, and then finally, I just going, I got to go home to reset Peanut's shelter. That's the main thing. And she'll be okay because I'm going to start all over here. I shouldn't be talking. Oh, you know what? I should put it into the holder. This on the holder floor. There it is. Yeah. So she'll be okay because we have the 24 hours shelters. She knows. They know when the green shelter gets cold to move to the other ones. They know that the father is addictive and is struggling. They know this. My inside cats know this too. So much for. No $20 machines. I should be fine. I made do with the $7.50 machines. So I was betting. Okay, back home. The timer for Peanut shelter had gone off, but she moved to an older shelter, which is on 24/7. She's, as I said to my neighbor, she's smarter than her father. So, and then she moved right back to the suite, to the new one once I plugged it in, and I fed them and everything, and came in and fed the inside kids, and we're enjoying family togetherness time. Gonna have to do something about the casino thing. Just gonna have to sign the ban. I mean, it's just, okay, as my out-of-province friend said, the hesitation here is that I do know that the polls for the other thing will increase. They happened last time too, when I can't gamble, when I really can't, when the ban is on. So that's the only consideration here. But this is getting out of hand. This is just not acceptable. It's just completely out of control. So we'll see. We'll just go day by day. And in the meanwhile, my neighbor texted me that one of the, more ferals, we call them ferris, was, in the backyard last night. They saw them on the security camera. So, and that's on the lips. So we're going to see if we can try to help him or her. As I said, that might be a positive rechanneling for me. You can kind of try to help this poor cat in this really cold weather. Anyway, that's what's happening for now. Bye for now. We're going to do the gambling thing one day at a time. It's day 1 clear of casinos. Pulls were strong to go to the casino again, but poor Peanut didn't trust me anymore. By morning, she was in the old shelter because she thought I was going to forget to reset the timer. So I'm like, I couldn't let poor Peanut down. So instead of going to a casino, I came here to Boston Pizza for the Tuesday pasta special. A couple of beers, which are also on special. And I'm having the pasta, and I accidentally, and I'm excited because I'm talking to the server. She and her husband are cat people. And the topic came up because I'm wearing my feral cat dad shirt with the pictures of the ferals on it. So I'm talking to her about the kids, and as soon as I start talking about the kids, they get excited. And then afterwards, I'm drinking a couple of beers, and then accidentally bite down on the fork. This is why I prefer chopsticks. But anyway, so I bite down on the fork, and I totally fuck up my sense of truth. So, lower. I've just been to the dentist. I think it's going to have to be removed. I'm in pain. So I'm anesthetizing. I'm having a couple of beers. And then I got to go to PetSmart and stuff. And then, it's close enough that I can always come back if I need to. Or I'll just sober up and then do some shopping and then drive back. I've had 3, so I should be okay. It's overtime. So I'm self-anesthetizing, but I'll have to buy Smirnoff to have at home. I'm in serious pain. Fuck. As I said to my neighbors in a text, it's a distraction from the casino polls. Not the, I can hear it. I can hear it grinding when I touch the tooth. It's like awful. It's in pain. I think it's going to have to be removed. So now I have to apply for the federal, plan for seniors to have that, because I've been paying for dental stuff, but this is going to be expensive. So I'm going to have to look into that at least, and then make an appointment and see if my neighbors can look after the ferals, make it as a day trip. I don't know. It's like now we're back to one day at a time. But at least I got other worries besides just as a distraction from casinos, but not the distraction that it shows them. Hello everybody, guess what? I'm on my way to Toronto because my tooth is very painful. It's loose, and I took Advil last night. I tried drinking didn't help. Take a couple of the nighttime Advils. I checked on the ferals. I sat in an hour with the kids. Got up in the morning, fed the ferals, checked on the ferals. Spent some time with agita, lcee, and Finn. And it's just there's no way I can last for a week or a month or whatever with this pain. I can't eat. I can't so I tried calling my own dentist first. Toronto, not only Toronto, the other side of Toronto, east and north, because I kind of trust this one. I've known him. I'm slightly dentist phobic, and I've known this one for some years. And before that, I used to go to his father, who's also a dentist. So actually, talking is difficult now. So I'll shut up in a second. So I called the receptionist and I told her. She goes, "Oh, you're in Toronto?" I go, "No, I'm not in Toronto, but I will come for the appointment if you can give me one today." She said, "Come for 3." So by the time I fed the kids, fed the ferals, got ready, took the mini because it's just me, and I'm driving. I left home 4 hours, but it was worth it. What he's done is he's extracted. We didn't even use the laughing gas. He just used the thingy, the freezing. And now I've got to be inserting these things to staunch the bleeding. And I'm going to head back. I'm going to get traffic. But it's well worth it. And what we're doing is I paid him for today's work. For me, I thought it was very reasonable. I don't know the people in Chatham. This guy gives me good deals, and I've applied for the dental plan. If they cover anything, fine. If they don't, that's fine too. But right now, I just have the gap, and if they cover it, we'll see. And if they don't, I'll pay out of pocket. We'll put in a bridge or something. He's taking measurements, but then I'll come back for that. That's a few weeks. Right now, the only important thing is the pain is done. It was awful. It's kind of feeling weird with my teeth, with my tongue, and the teeth is a big gap, but it's okay. Better than pain. And I really don't know anyone in Chatham anywhere. I don't really care if this gap. So eventually I will get, we'll see what they cover, if anything, and we'll get replacement. So it was worth the drive. Now the problem is I'm going to get really bad traffic, and it's snowing. Anyway, that's what's happening. Bye for now. Hello everybody. That happened to me. Just happened to me accidentally. Casino. Two blocks. The dentist, and I just had all the work done and everything, and I didn't even have laughing gas, so I stopped in. It's a kind of old style, but I brought in $300, and I'm up to $300, so I am walking out. Very difficult, but I am walking out. I have to get back to the kids, so that's what's happening. I didn't tell my friends about this. If they actually watch the next podcast, they'll find out, But I am walking out. 200 or 300 up. I am. Bye. $500. I'm in the car again, and I'm not going back. I'm up over a couple of $100, enough to pay today's dental bill. Now, problem is, it's going to be, traffic time, but I can't help it. And I'm not going to take the toll route on the way back. I took it on the way because I was getting late. So that, if we're going to pay that, it's going to be like $30-40. It'll come out of today's winnings if I don't lose it all elsewhere, which I probably will. But at least I'm walking up, and I'm heading back for the kids. Now, the other problem is it's snowing a bit, which is okay here. Everybody, I'm at a brew pub in Sarnia called the Refined Fool. I just came outside to talk because I don't want the music to go to when they check the things, they sometimes go, oh, you're infringing copyright. So I just came outside. Now, I was at a place called the Refined Fool. The Nutty Professor is certainly a fool, probably not a refined one. The news is, I don't know if I taped it all yesterday, but the tooth was out of control, pain. I didn't want to get it done here. I drove all the way to Toronto, which was good because my dentist is excellent. He charged very reasonable, and then if I get approved for the dental plan, they'll cover some of it. So all of that was good. Problem was, the casino right near the right here at the dentist office. Yeah, I didn't even know about it until I just checked. Oh, I did check casinos for the area, but it was like right next door. So I went up $300-400 there, and then I had the cash, and on the way back, I stopped at St. Thomas, the one I was at the other day, and I lost all the cash and all the cash I had on me, and I came very close to accessing more from a debit card and Visa card, but it was getting late and the kids had been loaned, and Peanut's shelter needed to be reset. So I managed around midnight with a lot of difficulty. The place opened till 2. With a lot of difficulty, I got in the car and drove home and reset Peanut's timer. She didn't quite trust me, but she had moved. She had moved to the the other shelter, and then I fed Phils. I fed kids. This morning I get up and it's just like the casino is at its it's like I gotta be there. So I drove to Sarnia and I took some cash from home, and then I just drove to the bank and I got more, and I'm like, I haven't eaten, so I'm not having spicy because I had the tooth root yesterday. I saw this place, Refined Fool, it's a brew pub, so I decided to try it, and they have a flight, like you taste the different beers, so I'm going to do that, and I'm having a veggie burger, and then I'm going to go back to the casino. Wish me luck, not in winning money, but in being able to get over this addiction. Bye for now. Maximum level of addiction. So today I drove all the way to London again, to St. Thomas, but I'm up for the day. Question is, can I walk out while I'm up? A few $100, not a lot. Can I walk out? Another 120. Okay, I want to put all my effort into it and go to London to eat. If I eat here, then I might come back here. So that's what's happening. Bye for now. Everybody. Well, the casino misadventures continue, but I managed to walk out up. I drove all the way to London. I went up about $900, and I walked out. It's covering some of my losses from yesterday at the other casino. I got a little bit as I walked out because my new acquaintance called me, and I ended up meeting him and a friend for dinner and they came to see the house, and we went for dinner in Chatham. So it was nice, and that's why I didn't feed that money back into the machine. But I was still down for the day. Yesterday I was still quite a bit down for the day. So today I got another $900, and that makes up for some of yesterday's losses, even though they say gamblers are not supposed to chase your losses. That's the bad thing. And when I used to lecture, I used to talk about the gambler's fallacy and all of that stuff, and critical thinking and all of that, but it doesn't matter when you're in it. When you're in it and you're at full level of compulsion. So I came today. Socialized with people yesterday, with humans. It was good, but that also kind of, I need decompression afterwards, and then I get I'm not used to dealing with humans, and then afterwards, I was with the kids, and I balance out a bit. Morning I get up, and there's a whole bunch of, there's still cash in the casino drawer, even though I was down yesterday, but there's still cash in the casino drawer. And if I have cash in my casino drawer, I need to spend it. So the casino in Chatham is much too small, the one that I can attend, that I'm not banned at. So I drove, and I went to Sarnia yesterday, so I came here. And within about half an hour, I won about 900. And with a lot of difficulty, I walked out, and I've come to the Sarnia restaurant in London. And I've been to this before. It's very, very good. So I'm having, this is chicken keema. So it's ground beef, ground meat, but keema, not but chicken, not beef. And there's chana, there's a chickpea, dal, naan. I have a couple of beers. And then from here, since I'm in London, right next door there's a chapter, so I go there and I go to PetSmart rather than go to the one in Chatham. Back in, I think I'm up a couple of $100, but of course the pull is to push it all back in. But I've got to get back. I'm walking out, one foot into the other. I have to cash this in and walk out. It's Friday the 13th. Happy Friday the 13th. Bye for now. And I'm up a few hundred for the day, which sort of makes up for yesterday's losses, even though I did win at the end, but I was still down quite a bit yesterday. So, at the other casino. So, now I get cash. I put it in the glove compartment, and I'm like, but when I have cash and I'm near slot machines, it's like, it's like those bumper stickers that say this car stops at whenever I have cash, I have to go to a slot machine, but I can't. I gotta go home. I'm up. I don't want to put all that Friday the 13th. I don't want to put all that money back into the machine. So I'm driving. Inside I was walking. Now I'm driving. I'm not turning around. I'm going to go straight home to the kids. Bye for now. As I've said before, being an addict is not fun. Well, it's sort of fun in a way, but it's harrowing too. It's a harrowing kind of fun. It's the kind of fun that I guess people get on roller coasters. I hate roller coasters, but this is like a million times worse than a roller coaster. Anyway, bye for now. Back at the reception committee, my fellow Slitherer, Jack, sweetheart, I got some treats for you. Come here, sweetie. Got some treats. Come. Don't step on your tail. I don't want to step on your tail, darling. There. We've got Jill there. We've got BC there. And we've got Peanut in there. I just got a call while I was doing all this from my new friends, my new drinking buddies. So, and they're at a bar. It's not a big surprise, but they're at a bar, sort of the other end of town. But around here, everything is like a 10-minute drive. And they're like, "Oh, we're at the bar. Where are you?" I just got back. I didn't say from where, but they probably know. And I'm going, "I'm just feeding the cats." I said, "I'll see if I have the energy. I'll come out, and if not, I'll see you next time." So that's what's happening. I got drinking buddies. It's kind of interesting. Anyway, bye for now. Local one. I didn't go to a casino at all yesterday. This is the stage I'm at. Okay, I'm having at an unlicensed place. Otherwise, I'd be drinking, and I'm having like a shish tawur, but he's cut it up because I wanted it to smaller pieces. I wanted actually the ground chicken. It was really hard to explain, but in the end, I think this is like a shawarma. Doesn't matter. It's quite good. And then Friday, that was another casino day. I think I might have tipped a little bit. I went back to St. Thomas. I prefer so that's London, near London. It's about an hour and 10 minutes from here. So I drove there, and I left up. That was Friday the 13th. I left up a bit, a few $100. I went and had lunch in London. Went to Chapters, bought some light reading books, and then on the way back, I stopped at the casino. Kind of go past St. Thomas, and I went up another couple of $100. So I get back, and my new friend calls, goes, "Well, let's stop by. We're at the bar, one of the two bars that they frequent. So I stopped by for one drink, and then I came back and stayed in with the kids. Yesterday morning, my friend calls again in the morning. He's an extrovert, and that's the thing. He's an extrovert. I'm an introvert. So he calls in the morning, but I'm open to different. If they're nice people, and it's a change for me. So I go have lunch with him, and of course, rather than brunch, it becomes wings and beer. A couple of beers. beers, and then meet another guy and have a couple of beers, and then sober up, and then go to PetSmart, and then finally I get back to the kids and just a little bit of solitude, and I'm just like, I'm decompressing after all the socialization with the kids. Well, I'm after the socialization with the humans. I'm decompressing with the kids. So yesterday, I just spent the entire evening at home with the kids and the night, and just family day. Happy family day, everybody. So instead of going to, a casino, I decided to do some family stuff. I spent morning at home with the kids, fed the girls, and then something I kind of avoid doing, but needed to be done. Might as well do it on the family day. I had to get all the ferals, bedding. So from the shelters, you have the covers of the heating pads, and those are not too bad. But the ones that are in the shed, you kind of like leaves. Should have shaken them out. Leaves. But you know what? My ferals don't make a lot of mess. It's the other people, the possums. I haven't seen in a while. And the really feral cats seem to stop in. But it's okay, I put lots and lots of soap, and and I'm doing the extra cycle and heavy duty and all of that stuff, so should be fine. So I'll do that, and then there's a brew pub right across the road. So while I'm waiting for this, I did this last time too. I did it in fall, I did it in spring, I did it in fall. It's Hello, everybody. I did the laundry at the laundromat. I had a couple of beers, and lunch, chicken tenders, and everything's nice and dry. Put it back in the garbage bags. Everybody seems to use garbage bags for laundry. And I come back, and it's very wet here because it's all thawing. And the guy did not do a good job of the awning, but it doesn't matter. So I've got the chocolates unplugged for now. It's really warm. It's 7-8 degrees. And in spite of everything, in spite of it being unplugged, I've removed the covers, I've removed the heating pads. Look who is in her. That's sweet. She loves it. So anyway, now I'm going to have to get rid of it just for a minute, sweetie. I got to put the covers back on and everything, and the heating pads. And in Sarnia, I went to the casino, of course. I'm having momos and beer. Hello, everybody. I'm not sure what I taped last. Yesterday, I fed the kids, fed the ferals, did all my cat dad chores, went to casino. I don't think I even tipped because I've got to the point of the casinos where I don't even want to talk about it. I'm just so focused there, and I just so don't want to be there, but sort of compelled to be there. I don't want to tape. I just want to get out of there. But and I lost money, of course, and then I come back. And then it's, such a relief to be back with the kids and feeding the kids, feeding the girls, feeding the inside kids. Hey, Peanut, sweetie. And then it's pouring rain here. And the guy did such a bad job of that. He never came back to attach that, There's supposed to be a second downspout there. He was supposed to come back, never showed up, And he did come back. He moved the thing back, and that just made it worse. It was better before. And then he attached that, and it's not working. Of course, Jill is under the deck. She's under the deck. So I think it's a dry spot there while I do my cat dad chores, but that's normal. Anyway, that's what's happening. I'll show the inside kids, and then I'll get ready and work on journals and back to my own stuff, and and then going shopping and stuff like that. Anyway, bye for now. Inside with the kids. I've plugged the shelters for the ferals in again. I think it's okay. It does have that thing that the GIFC or whatever, and I'm sort of keeping an eye from here. Peanut is back in her shelter. The other two are not using the shed. They're under the deck or on the deck or outside somewhere, and because and so I'm inside with the kids. So boys are there. I think that's Finn, and I think that's lcee. Could be the other way around. And of course, Agita's there. And I'm spending today at home. Just have to go a little bit of shopping, get some garbage bags and stuff like that, and maybe have some lunch or get some takeout food or something. And then I'm just going to stay in with the kids, work on journals, and I will clean a little bit today, even though a new cleaning person is coming on Friday, recommended by a dear friend of mine. So I've texted with her, and I'm very particular about products used in cleaning because of the cats. And it was a good day one clear of casino. So we've got Agita there, I think that's lcee there, and I think that's Finn there. And I just went and checked on the ferals. It had been raining, but it stopped. And the heated shelters are on, but it's okay. I think it's covered with the tarp and all the cords. So I checked on them, and BC was in one of the older shelters. Peanut was in the new shelter, and Jill ran to the deck as usual, but then went back into the shed as soon as I came in. So that's our usual routine at bedtime. So I'm just about to go to bed, and as I said, day one clear of casinos, and then did some tidying up today and arranged for a cleaning person to come on Friday, and I went and got some takeout, and looked after the ferals, looked after the kids, did some reading. So all in all, a good day one casino clear. Bye for now. Well, I guess today was like day two clear of casinos, and we got both the boys settled there, and we got Agita settled there, and it was an okay day. I did some shopping because I've got a cleaning person coming tomorrow, so I had to buy some cleaning products, and I was looking after the ferals, looking after the kids, trying to read, not really getting into anything. It's okay, but pulls were kind of back. The casino thing was keeping the other thing at bay, but there were, slither pulls this morning, but it's okay. It's going to go day by day. Just keep going. So I'll probably edit and post on Sunday if I can. Everybody, I'm here in the bedroom with the kids. So we've got one of the boys, I think that's lcee, I think that's Finn, there's Agita, and myself. I'm being one of the cats because the cleaning person is here, and I picked her up. She doesn't cry, so I picked her up and showed her everything that needs to be done, and she's aware of the thing with the cats, only vinegar, but for this time we might use a vinegar only in the bathroom, and in that other bathroom can use any product. So she's got a dog, so she knows about that. She's grown up with cats, so I'm, sweetheart, you're going to shut the door, which is probably a good thing. Don't go out. There's vacuuming and stuff going on up there. You don't want to go. Everybody, I don't think I've taped in a couple of days because the energy has been kind of wonky. And I've been looking after the kids, looking after the ferals, and yesterday the cleaning person came. I might have taped about that. And then I went out for a couple of drinks and had something to eat in the evening. And the pulls have really ramped up, but I also really want to go to the casino, but the one in London, I don't want to drive all that way, and I lost money at Sarnia last time. I don't want to go to Sarnia again. So I don't know, don't have the energy for the drive, and I know that if I go there, I'm going to suck right back into the gambling thing. So what I'm doing is I'm just going day by day, hour by hour. Came up for brunch, going to PetSmart, back to the kids, and try to work on journals and write and read. And tomorrow, I want to edit and post the next podcast, and that I'm really hoping that grounds me a bit. Everybody, it's me, the Nutty Professor. You're not gonna fucking believe this. I'm watching hockey with a whole bunch of humans. It's like before noon, and there are people hitting rubber with sticks. It's like, but I'm kind of getting into it. I came mainly for the booze, but it's kind of interesting. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to show the humans because the confidentiality and all that shit. But this is the Nutty Professor reporting from a hockey game doing. Can you fucking believe this? Bye for now. Strong and free. I'm here after our team is lost. I'm not going to show all the people, but everybody's like singing "Oh Canada." We're drinking. We're drawn in God's sorrow. Naughty Professor. I'm not going to sing. I'm not going to sing. We're the last people left here, and we're singing "Oh Canada." It's great. It's great. I love it. Naughty Professor. Naughty Professor loves it. Bye for now. It's a little later in the day, and we've got Agita there, and both the boys here. I think this one is lcee, and I think that one is Finn. And Ferals hopefully in the shed. I checked on them a few minutes ago, and everybody was nicely settled in the heated shelters. Okay, where to begin? Where to begin? As my friend in the other province would say, I'm peopled out. I'm not complaining. It was very interesting. It was a distraction. Very, very interesting people, good people. Not some, not entirely cat people, but still, I mean, they're humans, and it actually came up at the bar where we watched and me watching a hockey game. But as somebody at the table said, today's hockey game wasn't really about hockey. It was a bit something else. It was the whole U.S. Canada relations and Canadian identity, and people starting to talk about possible war. It was almost inconceivable. But it was, and there's a nutty professor watching hockey and socializing with humans, wearing my cat hat, and having beers before noon. Oh, shit. But the topic of my podcast came up, and I said the plan was to, edit and post the latest podcast today. And somebody at the table, because I've been talking to them about, the nutty professor. And when I socialize, the only way I can do it is to shift into nutty professor mode and talk about podcasts and talk about, I ended up talking to one person extensively about birth order and personality, because I fall back into the nutty professor, or not just lecture material. But I did manage to hold conversations and sort of, and in nutty professor mode, and I did the whole hockey game thing. I don't follow hockey, and wasn't even really watching the game or the rubber thing on the ice or the people were hitting, but I was kind of facing the other way from the screen. But when there was a goal, the only goal for Canada, I mean, there was energy palpable. The whole, bar just erupted, and even in all the close calls, and then at the end, it was and I got caught up in it too. I mean, it's just like, it was really, really something. I was like, sort of shared energy, kind of almost a transcendence of sorts, and I kind of got the whole thing in terms of people who the idea of identification, the country and group and people and humans, and it was quite something. Now, when I mentioned the podcast and how one of the guys who I'd been talking to, people just about my age, maybe a little younger. One of them is like 3-4 years younger, and then other people a little bit younger. And the people, one of the guy who introduced me to the group, that he wasn't there today, but socialized with him and his group last night. I think he's exactly my age. And then there's somebody a little older, and so kind of that age range. And most of them are, have human children, or grown human children, as some of them do at least. I think most of them do. So it was really, and there was really interesting. I mean, and I got caught. I don't know. As I was saying, one of the guys, when I talked about the podcast, he kind of got it when I said I do it for when I said I do them more for myself. I mean, I have 23 viewers on a good day these days. The earlier podcasts I had hundreds, but now I have like 23. These are myself taped ones, so just me sitting here talking with the cats and showing the cats and talking about my struggles with addiction and my pulls and my pushes and all of that stuff. And I suppose all of this distraction, the socialization, is sort of a push, because I haven't been to a casino in 3-4 days now. And I haven't, the other stuff, the partying and stuff. I mean, drinking. That's my controlled burn. And I've been socializing. Maybe socializing can become an addiction. I don't think so, because I've kind of reached I've just, saturated. It was very, very good people, very nice people. I enjoyed it, but and it was, I switched into my nutty professor persona. But I just get to the point where I'm like, I need to get home to the kids. Use my cat energy. Just sit here with my foot on the ottoman, which is really a cat perch. So, but as I said, one of the guys got it in terms of I do it for myself, and he said it's sort of like a journal, and I keep very detailed journals, written journals, which I don't hold back. I mean, those that I write 5, 6, 7 pages a day, which I don't hold back. That is just for me. But these, as he said, I mean, you can filter it, and it's a question of how much do you filter. And as I said, with some of the other stuff, I filter for anonymity of other people, for the whole thing in terms of not incriminating myself or others. Now, in this case, everything's legal. I mean, we're drinking in bars, and and everybody's careful also about the drinking and driving and pacing it and counting it and waiting and all of that stuff, and so everything's legal, and but still, I don't want to reveal too much about others, or even. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. At the same time, there's nothing really, I have nothing bad to say about anybody. It's my perception, this is Nutty Professor podcast. So this is my view of the pushes and the pulls and the socialization and being here in the small town and going to bars and watching hockey games, Canada, U.S. hockey games and drinking and launching into sort of Nutty Professor mode to be able to socialize and and there was one person who was talking about various categories and even as a psychologist, I don't really like terms or DSM or categorization. However, I went into my birth order thing. So look, I've been talking about this generally, and I don't want. I enjoyed it, and it was like it was a distraction, and they were nice people, and they welcomed me at their table, even though it's pretty much a stranger. Just met some of them in the bar, kind of barfly acquaintances. So, but and shared views, and there's one. It came up my podcast on the other podcaster. I'm not even going to name him now. The other Jungian podcaster is no longer in, and now I'm much more against his views than I was before. I was being gentle in the podcast I did about him years ago, but I'm not going to mention him now, and he's not even living in Canada anymore. But this is the former psych prof, the famous one, Jungian, who has millions and millions of viewers, while I have 23 on a good day. But that's fine. I mean, I just fly under the radar. So, and I do my stuff. I do my, I don't know. I don't even know if I can talk now. I need to process. I need to just decompress. I need to process a bit. Would I have preferred to be alone in a casino gambling? Yeah, probably. But, this is really much more productive or whatever. And it's it costs a lot less, and there's exchange of energy, and I like the people that I met, even though we come from very different backgrounds, very different experiences, and these are all mostly people who have grown human children, so they have a completely different view than mine as being a cat parent, but so. What am I going to say now? Let's do a very quick, since might as well just stick to routine, very quick recap of the last couple of weeks. So, still clear. What are we at? 19 weeks clear of partying, that kind of partying, not drinking partying. So 19 weeks clear. We're so freaking close to 5 months. So that's a bit of a record here, and I made it. Partly thanks to, casino, the control burn, drinking, I guess, control burn, and this is the new distraction, the new, rechannel. I wouldn't call it distraction, rechanneling of energy in a more societally acceptable, form, socializing, actually going out to bars and talking to humans and going to visit humans' houses and, and having discussions and, acting like, this is not like a dusty dumpster rodent weasel or like a semi-feral cat, that's sort of like a little bit more human stuff, So, and, so just recap after the last podcast. The main, looking after the ferals, looking after the kids, going to casinos as well. So there was casinos, strong pulls, went to casinos, and then there was a distraction, and not a very positive one. But when I broke my tooth, and I was in a lot of pain, and I ended up driving day trip to Toronto to my dentist, had the tooth extracted, And on the way back, I stopped in a casino. I don't know if I even showed that, but I stopped in it. I might have talked about it, but I stopped in a casinos on the way back, one right next to the dentist and one in Toronto and one in London or near London on the way back. And then it was, after that, it was, dealing with the pain of the tooth, some drinking, casino day by day, struggling, and then this big burst of the last couple of days of socialization. And this is all thanks to a particular, new acquaintance, friend, I guess friend now, even though we haven't known each other all that long, but they've been, he calls me up and, we meet at bars, invites to the house, has people over, have drinks, talk about art, talk about, podcasts, talk about this and that, and introduces me to people, and, he's he kind of welcomed me to their group, which is, I really was quite touched by that, So, there's all kinds. Now, I haven't quite, I've talked about my addictions and I've talked about, gambling, but I haven't quite, mentioned the party thing, which, on and off over the past few years, after many, many years clear. But it's now almost 5 months clear of party. And also, there's a whole other level to that, which I don't want to talk about here, again, that was like, as the chap said, how much are you going to filter? So I filter that. So, I think that's all I can do for today. So, need to process more. Just go day by day, one day at a time, and just focus on being a cat, being back to being a cat for a bit. So we've got, I don't know. Yeah, I can't leave it at that because it's been, if this is, I'm trying to deal with, my process and my journey and my struggles and the pulls and, the push, what I call my system, the pulls and pushes. I think, someone I talked to today used a different term, the procuring the substance or activity that one is addicted to. So, and I have my system, PATAP, and talking to these people and looking at my old podcast on the other podcaster, the one I did many, many years ago, the famous one, the one who has millions of views and is very political. Whereas I call myself apolitical, but I am against that particular, the whole right wing and the stuff that's happening now. The nutty professor does take a stand. Of course, you have to. So that's that's sort of a given. So and I'm pretty sure cats would agree with that. It's snowing again. So all kinds of stuff has been happening. And I am processing, but it's okay. I'm still clear. I'm approaching 5 months. I have socialized. I will from time to time. We'll see how it goes. Just at this point, it's just one day at a time. So for now, I'm just going to say, as usual, going to do this one day at a time. And we've got from the seven of us here, you know? So we've got Finn there, very nicely sleeping. Lcee there. Agita there. And I'm going to come out here. And we got you running. You know, even though I am her father and I look after them, and I come out and feed them and everything twice a day, she sees me and runs to hide. Just to be on the safe side, which is fine. That's just Jill. And we've got BC. BC stays in the shelter, so we've got BC there. And we got Peanut. Where are you, sweetie Peanut? Peanut. And this is the deluxe shelter with the timer and the you know, and two of them. I'm pretty sure that Jill was in here with Peanut. We got BC there. Okay? It's snowing again. And Jill has gone under the deck. Sweetie, Daddy sometimes feels like going under the deck too. Daddy's just going to be in the living room with the inside kids. There's their heated bowls and stuff in the alcove here. And once more, we're back inside with Agita, Lcee, and Finn. So, all seven of us cats to certain degrees. Certain degrees of domesticity, I guess, you know. So these are the domestic cats, and then we've got the feral cats, and we've got the cat dad, who's kind of in between. So, from the seven of us, you know, doing this one day at a time, as always, from the seven of us. Bye for now. See you next podcast.